As a businesswoman, do you ever walk into networking events filled with businessmen and feel your confidence and your power drop? We're going to be talking about that along with four other big topics that us women deal with and how to get through it better. Hey, if you're a driven businesswoman wanting to get to your next level, subscribe now. Just click right over there. I've been a businesswoman, an entrepreneur for 3 decades. So I've been in many situations where I'm the only woman in a man's environment, or in situations where I felt anxiety and stress and being pushed into a corner and those emotions starting to bubble up. Stay with me on this journey right now because at the end of this episode, I'm going to share a tool that you are going to love because it's going to give you that power back in an instant and you're going to use it all the time. All right, our first topic is Superwoman Syndrome. This is when we try to do everything and be everything. Be the perfect mom, be the perfect wife or partner, be the perfect businesswoman, right? And do it and volunteer on top of that. We put so much pressure on ourselves as women. And one thing that I've learned in running businesses is we have to let it go. So here are 3 tips I have for you to help you overcome Superwoman Syndrome. The first one is to plan ahead. Always have a plan of how you're going to host an event or what your day is going to look like. Number 2, stay 100% focused on whatever it is you are supposed to be doing right then. So if it is time to be with your kids, if the kids have just gotten home from school and you've decided this is my kid time, put away your phone, your computer, have no other distractions. You are just there for your kids. It will make a profound difference for them because doing a few different things at the same time does not give them the attention that they need and they crave. Also, when it's time to get to work and you have to focus on one task, don't let anything else get in your way. Make it sure that that's the only thing that you're focusing on. Multitasking does not work. That is a huge myth. Throw it out the window now. The sooner you do, the better. And then, if all that doesn't work because something happens with your family, a kid's sick or whatever, laugh. Put things in perspective. It's not that big of a deal. Things will get done. As a mom, we got to give ourselves some grace. It's just part of it. Relax a bit, enjoy your kids, and just laugh. It will take you so much further. Number 2, being taken seriously. So, this is an external expectation type of situation. So, maybe when you're going to a networking event or even being around friends and family. Here's a story that I'm going to tell you really quickly that just happened to me. We were out with some friends who we've known for a long time. It's another couple. And the husband was telling a story of how he had to deal with a certain problem that occurred in their with them rebuilding their home. And there was a problem with a neighbor. And he made a reference to me saying, you know me, Dory. You always give these kind of problems to your husband because he's going to take care of it. And kind of like showed the muscles. And I had to pause for a second and remember, I've been a businesswoman for 30 years. You think I haven't dealt with problems? And so here's what I did, and here's what I suggest: address the issue. So come out and say, well, such and such. I actually deal with problems all the time. And I tend to be the person who deals with them most often because I'm the one who can problem solve. That's it. You don't have to go into details, but you just make it clear that you take your power back because you know how to solve that problem. Another situation is in events, networking events, where you walk in, you're the woman. For me, I enjoy being in a dress and in high heels. That's who I am. However, I'm also a badass businesswoman. And so when I walk into these events, sometimes I will get the feeling from other men that they'll change the conversation a bit. They won't talk as high level when I come around. And so what I do is I either have a topic that I bring up that is about business, or if they are talking about something and then they start shifting the conversation, I will shift it back. And then I will put in my 2 cents that are well thought out because I've been doing this for a while. But once again, it establishes your power. The other part of this is your body language and your voice. If you talk in a higher pitched voice, you're not going to be taken as seriously. This is just one of those neurological facts that happen. So lower your voice a bit, talk in a little bit of a slower pace, stand straight. That's your power stance. That is how you get that respect right there. I'd love for you to list one thing that you do to help you with confidence right there in the comments. Number three, imposter syndrome. This is where we don't believe we should be where we are, that we don't believe to be in the position that we're at, or to have the success that we have. And we're worried someone's going to find out. They're going to find out that we're a fake. So this is internal dialogue that we're telling ourselves. Here's the cool thing, couple cool things about that. Usually when we are noticing imposter syndrome, it's when we are about to go from here to up here. So it's a positive thing once we learn to be aware of that. Number two, 75% of women who are successful feel imposter syndrome at some point. So you're not alone, but it's important that you create that awareness, like I talked about. So, one way to do this is when you start to hear this negative self talk coming in, you don't deserve to be here. Holy crap, what if someone finds out I'm an imposter? Replace that with three empowering thoughts about yourself. So, one way to do this is to go back and when you're noticing this discontent within yourself or you're questioning your success and if you really belong where you are, write down why you do belong, why you have succeeded, why you do deserve to have more success. Go and write down, take your time, because chances are you've forgotten a lot of the crap that you have done and a lot of the difficulties and challenges that you've overcome. Remember, you're a woman, we deal with a lot. So dig deep. And you can even go back to when you were younger and you played sports and you overcame challenges, or you spoke up in a certain situation, or you had a fear that you overcame speaking on stage, whatever it is, go and write it down. And then remember that whenever you hear a piece of negative self talk come in, you go squash that with three empowering thoughts. Number four, isolation. As an entrepreneur, often we're working from home or we're working by ourselves or with VAs, but we feel isolated. And what can happen is our momentum kind of starts dwindling. We may question ourselves. We move slower. We get stuck longer. This can all happen. So it's really important to find yourself a group of like-minded women who are driven and really making things happen. So don't just go to your friends who are also, just moms. Find like-minded women who you can hang out with. Fuel the Fire is a great organization that you can check out. There's other ones too. There are business groups online. So go find those and surround yourself with other women who are going to drive you and support you. Number five, control of your emotions. This is a biggie. Us women, we're the nurturers biologically over all these decades and centuries. And so we have this part of us that is emotional. But when you're in a board meeting or you're trying to be impactful, there's no room for emotions. So I'm about to give you a huge tool that will help you gain that power back and give you control of whatever emotions bubbling up that you don't want to come out right then. Here we go. It's called the me, M-E. How this works is when you start feeling your emotions starting to get out of control. So it could be that you're feeling anger or frustration or you're starting to feel tears starting to come because you're so upset over a certain situation, what you do is you think, I mentally see my fist up here. I'm not really doing this in a board meeting, but I see my fist and I call it the me. And I'll say something like this: the me is feeling super upset right now. Not saying out loud, it's just in your head. Or the me is feeling like I want to punch this guy in the face right now. What happens is it takes it out of our subconscious brain back here, brings it to our prefrontal cortex. And what that means is this is where our conscious brain is. It gives us our power back. When it's conscious, it gives us our power back. So whatever that emotion is starts to come down, so we can continue talking like I am right now with this low voice without elevating it, because that is when you start losing your power, is when your voice gets high like this. You don't want that. You don't ever want to be screaming. You don't ever want to be talking out of anger because you lose your power. This is a ninja skill for us women that we need to embrace. So remember the me. Hey, if you're looking for a group of like minded business women who are driven just like you, check out Fuel the Fire. You can find the link right down there in the comments. If you gain value from this video, please like and subscribe by clicking that button right over there.